Thank you for joining wherever you're joining from. Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining me from any part of the world, I thank you. Thank you, Ada Zion. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, my sister Linda TV show. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. We continue, no matter the stress, no matter the obstacles and hindrances, we will continue to preach the gospel, and they must hear it. Whether they like it or not, they must hear us. We will continue until Biafra comes. We are Biafra, that is who we are. We know what's election in Biafra land. Thank you for joining. Please share the video as you're joining. Yes, no shaking. We will continue. No matter their distraction and all their attack, we will continue. As you join, you share on your own platform. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody that have connected, any place you're joining from. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody that have connected. Please, as you're connecting, please like the video and share. Like the video and share. That is the role you have to play. That is the way you can equally support me. By liking, you click like. As you click like, other people will join. When you click like, it will notify other people to join. So please, as you're joining, you click like the video, and also share on your own platform, in your own WhatsApp group, any group you belong. Share, even to our enemies. You can share to them, let them come and hear our own opinion. And if they have a superior argument, they can bring it. They can bring their superior argument. That is why we are here. We are not running away from any of their challenges or any of their destiny. Wherever I come, just like when I broadcast on my page on Facebook, when I broadcast, I open up the ground for them to come in. Anybody that wants to come in to make an argument, a legitimate argument without insult, you come in and make your argument. It's allowed. It's allowed. That's how I hold my program. I don't come here to to attack people or to continue to come and push people down or to intimidate people. No. What I do is to set the record straight, say it exactly the way it is, without looking back. I just set the record straight. That is what I do here. And I will continue to do so as long as we are fighting for this very freedom of ours. As long as we continue to fight for our freedom, I will continue to speak out and say it exactly the way it is, without being politically correct, without antagonizing anybody or preaching hate or trying to instigate any kind of hatred to any tribe or any religion. That is not what we do. What we do here is to set the record straight, say it exactly the way it is, the truth and nothing but the truth. But for those who are finding it difficult to be able to get the truth, they will continue to find it difficult to get the truth. They will continue to find it difficult. For both those of us who are truthful, we don't care what they have to say or what they have to offer. We will continue to say it exactly the way it is. Exactly, Ada Zion, my dear. Chukwu Okike Abiama is by our side, and we will continue to win. No matter how they try to stop us, we will continue to win. We will continue to fight and move forward. I appreciate everybody that have connected, any place you're connecting from. If you are joining from Biafra land, a special thanks to you. I always give special thanks to those people who are joining from Biafra land, because it's not easy. It's not easy for one to be connecting online from Biafra land, steady for you for even 30 minutes, even 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and be watching a program. It's not easy from Biafra land. With the situation of the economy now, with the problem, temptation, obstacles, and everything that is happening in that Biafra land, it's not easy. Even when you even have the connection to communicate or to listen, sometimes it becomes a risk. When you are listening, you'll be watching your back, whether the authority is watching you or somebody is there watching you and looking at what you are listening to. So that is why every time when I come online, I give special thanks to people who are watching from Biafra land. They deserve an accolade. They deserve an accolade. And we must have to continue to appreciate them and also thank them for their own effort they are making. They are making a very great effort. And if you are watching from any part of the world, any part of Africa, any part of Europe, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Asia, any place you're watching from, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. We must continue to follow up what we are doing and continue to pursue our freedom, regardless all the distraction, all the attack that is coming from all angles. We must not give in. We must not give in to their attack. We must not give in, no matter the obstacle. Even when you come online, when I come online, sometimes you see nobody's watching. I still preach my message, I go. I know that the message will still go far. People are still going to share it. People are still going to watch later. So I'm not distracted. We know in preaching the message of freedom, and mainly the Biafra message on online these days, is very difficult. A very difficult task. You put on all your effort, but at the end of the day, they will try to hinder you. They restrict the number of people who are going to see you, and the number of people who are going to get your notification, and the number of people who are going to watch your video is being restricted. And there's nothing you can do than to keep on doing what you are doing and pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama by himself will begin to push the message across. So today we are going to discuss about the reality of today, Biafra restoration. We are talking about the reality of today, Biafra restoration, the new dimension. That is what we're going to discuss today. So, just as you saw in that very topic, the reality of today. The reality of today is nothing but Biafra restoration. Biafra restoration. We are not just saying it. It has been activated, the new dimension. And we are working towards that. That is the reality of today, Biafra restoration. We don't care about anything you are hearing. People who are talking about their PVC, which we know is a failure. People who are talking about the election, which we know will not hold in Biafra land. We don't want to get distracted by all those things. We know very well that election cannot hold in Biafra land. In extension, not only even in Biafra land, even on their own northern part of Nigeria and the other places they want to hold it, there is no guarantee that it's going to hold. The only thing that has guarantee today is the restoration of Biafra. Only restoration of Biafra is the only thing that has guarantee today. We are 101% sure that Biafra is going to be restored. And the procedure to the restoration of Biafra have been stated out. It has been stated out. And we are working towards that. Every single Biafran every single genuine Biafran that is paying attention. We know that it's not every Biafran that is actually on this line of restoration. But we will not wait until everybody come on board. No, we cannot wait. We are not going to wait until everybody come on board before we move for the restoration of Biafra. That is not how it works. We will continue to move for the restoration of Biafra until Biafra is being restored. We continue to move until Biafra is being restored, and every other person can come behind later. Mazen Nane can use the same language. Mazen Nane can, in those his last messages before he was kidnapped, when he was talking about the 100 men, he said he need only 100 men to move. Others can come behind later. He's not driving anybody away. We are not sending anybody away. But as it stands now, the people who are ready are marching on. We are marching. It doesn't matter if you're ready or not. That doesn't mean that you're no longer a Biafran. But that the time we are in today, the time that we are in, the present time that we're in today, is restoration of Biafra. And we are moving ahead to restore Biafra. Restoration, the new dimension. That's the restoration. And when you hear everything that our brother Samuel Empire is saying, the new spokesman of the Biafra struggle, the spokesperson, everything he's doing is pointing towards that restoration. Every single thing you are seeing today is pointing towards that restoration. And we thank Chukwu Okike Abiama that we are not just talking about restoration. Chukwu Okike Abiama has sanitized the movement. It has sanitized the Biafran struggle, and today we have people who are sincere. We have people who we know. We have people who we recognize. We have people who have an identity and address that we can be able to follow to push the message of restoration of Biafra. And we thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for that. If there is nothing you should thank God, thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for that. But today, we are working with people who are faithful. We are working with the followers of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, disciples of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We are working with them, and we continue to work to make sure that Biafra comes. We will continue to do so. It doesn't matter what anybody is doing or saying, we'll continue to do. And what you have to do as a Biafran, any place you are watching this video, what you have to do as a Biafran, anybody that is standing beside you, around you, near you, back home, make sure you keep them updated. That is what you owe every Biafran. Mainly our families in Biafra land. Most of them are not very acquainted with what is happening. Some of them are up to date. Some of them are not up to date. Those of us are outside. Those of us who are outside, we see much more clearer than them who are in that very contraption called Nigeria. Just take, for example, when you're watching the football. If you're in a stadium watching the football, you that is outside, you see much clearer the mistakes in the field. You see much clearer the players in the field. You see much clearer everything that happened in the pitch than those who are in that very pitch playing the football. Those who are playing the football are busy. Maybe they're just busy looking towards the ball alone. Their target is just to look at the ball, and they're not distracted. But you that is an observer outside, you will see every single mistake. You will see an attack when it's coming. You see danger when it's coming. You will see every single mistake. That is the way it is in this very struggle. There are so many things we can see from afar, but they cannot see it. That is why you have to be in touch. And that's why I appreciate everybody that is from watching whatever we are broadcasting, everybody that is spending his or her time to watch from Biafra land. I appreciate them. And when you get the message, please tell your neighbor what is happening. The stage we are in now, you have to tell your neighbor. That is why every time I come on broadcast these days, and I will continue to do so, people in Biafra land, you must have to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Reserve food. Get reserved food for yourself. If you are living abroad, tell your family, let them get a reserve for themselves. They should reserve food. Reserve food. Go and shop. This is time to stock up food. Stock up items for yourself. Those necessary food items you need. Stock it up for yourself. Those food you can prepare fast. Those you can prepare. Stock up things for yourself. You have to stock it up. This is the time. Some of the broadcasts we are making this day, people might be thinking that maybe we are joking or we're playing around. But we don't want anybody to be taken by surprise. Because the message of today is about restoration of Biafra. That is where we are. We are in the restoration, the new dimension. And the restoration is not something that you're going to play with. Every one of you who is a follower of our brother Samuel Empire, if you are listening to his broadcast, in last broadcast he made explanation. His own explanation is much more clearer than before. It's much more clearer. He's much more, you know, each time he comes, he tells you that he knows when Biafra will come. When Master Simon Ekpa said that he knows when Biafra will come, some people begin to doubt him. Some people think he's playing. Some people think he's just saying it. Some people think he's just saying it to entice you or to maybe please you or to make you happy. No. When he says he knows when Biafra will come, don't doubt him. He knows. And he has gone further these days. He has gone further to explain more. He went further to explain more to say that when he joined the struggle, he told Chukwu Abiyama that he doesn't want to fight for this Biafra more than 5 years. He said he doesn't want to fight for Biafra more than 5 years. That is what he said. And he joined Biafra struggle 1999. Is it 2019? Yeah, 2019. He joined Biafra struggle 2019. Check from 2019 to now, how many years have gone? Then you know how many years remaining. If you are a follower of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and you believe in what our brother Simon Ekpa is saying, you have to be working closely. Work closely. Exactly, my sister Adazayon. He joined the struggle 2019. Then calculate from 2019 till now, how many years? Then check how many years remaining. 3 years remaining. Even less than 3 years. So when we are talking about the coming of Biafra, it is not far. It is not far-fetched. And he is not only saying it, when you see the approach he's taking, you see the approach he's going and the direction he's going, you will see it clearer. You see it very, very clear, very, very clear that he is marching towards the restoration of Biafra. He has no other mission except that. And some of you might think that maybe we are not talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you, every time you hear somebody open his mouth and talk about the restoration of Biafra, the person is talking about the coming of Biafra. He's talking about the restoration of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When you see somebody open his mouth and talk about restoration of Biafra, that person is actually talking about the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Just like I say always, the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of the caliphate. The freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of that imposter in Asorok. It's not in the hand of the judge. The freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of the lawyers. But the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in your hand, in my hand. Those of us Biafrans. It's in the hand of the Biafrans. And it is you and I that will make Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released unconditionally. It is you and I that will give him that freedom. And when we are talking about the restoration of Biafra, that is the coming of Mazen Nnamdi. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be there to raise the flag. He will be there to raise the flag. If you want to begin to deviate from the struggle, deviate from restoration of Biafra, and they want to channel your attention, they want to divert your attention to begin to deceive you, they will tell us, maybe they will tell us they want to release him tomorrow, they want to release it tomorrow, just to distract us, to make sure that we are not focused. Let me tell you, the mission of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is to restore Biafra. And if there is any gift you give Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, if there is any gift you give Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and he will appreciate it, is the restoration of Biafra. Focus on the restoration of Biafra, restore Biafra. Because the restoration of the Biafra is the permanent freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. When we restore Biafra, you are not going to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and tell him to give him a condition, or tell him not to speak, or tell him not to talk. No. Restoration of Biafra is the automatic freedom, genuine freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is what we are pursuing. And it is going to happen very, very soon. Very, very soon. I thank Chukwu Abiyama who gave us our brother Simon Ekpa. He is not only talking. You will see actions going on every day. You will see the steps he's taking. You see the steps he's taking. If there is nothing, for you to see the Biafran agitators, genuine Biafran agitators coming together, genuine Biafran forces coming together to unite in one word, to speak in one voice, to complement each other, that should send a very strong signal to you. You and I know that when we talk about the actualization of Biafra, one person is not going to do the whole work. Only our brother Simon Ekpa cannot do it. You that is watching me, you can do it, not do it alone. I cannot do it alone. It will be our collective effort. Our collective effort is what is going to bring Biafra. It doesn't matter where you are joining from, which angle you are coming from. Every one of us have our weaknesses and we have our strength. Every Biafran group, every Biafran forces group on the ground, they have their strength and they have their weaknesses. And I thank Chukwu government who gave our brother Samuel Ekpa that wisdom to continue on that path that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has followed. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this unification before he was kidnapped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started unifying all the Biafran groups. He started making that move before he was kidnapped. He didn't stop only within Biafra. He extended his hand to Oduduwa brothers, to the Middle Belt. He was touching all angles to unify a force to make sure that the Zoological Republic bows. And today, the man who has picked up the mantle, the disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his spiritual son that goes to his heart to pick information. Today, look at every step he's taking. Every step he's taking are what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had already pronounced before he was kidnapped. Every single step he's taking today are the steps that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid on the ground. That is what he's taking. And we must follow him closely. That is why I always advise people in Biafra land, those who are watching, or those of you who are watching, call your people in Biafra land. I tell them, they must have to listen to Voice of Biafra. They must have to listen to the Voice of Biafra. Listen to the Voice of Biafra. When you listen to the Voice of Biafra, you will be updated. You will not be taken by surprise. Don't allow yourself to be taken by surprise. And we don't want anybody to be taken by surprise. Each and every one of us have a role to play. Don't allow yourself to be taken by surprise. That is why we are coming online on daily basis. I come online there sometimes 3-4 times in a day. I post videos, 3-4 videos in a day. I do that because it is necessary. In the time that we're in, we don't have to leave any stone unturned. In the time that we're in, every Biafran have to get the information. Every Biafran have to get information. So we have to continue to follow every angle, every direction, wherever information about Biafra is, you must have to pay attention. Listen to Voice of Biafra, 97.5 FM in Biafra land. If it is not in your area, notify us, make sure you notify us. You can reach out to Madam Azoka, reach out to our brother Samuel Ekpa. If you can sponsor it, very, very important. It is you and I that will pass that information. You can sponsor it. You can sponsor the radio in your area. If you find out that the radio is not talking in your area, call your family. If you are abroad, call your family and see that the radio is not in that area. You can sponsor the radio. It is something that you can do. It is not that expensive. Don't mind the time when we have all the Nzama people up and down. Today, there is no Nzama. Everything is going to be done accordingly with the price. It's not expensive. It's not like initially when all these criminals surround Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All the criminals, they surround Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bring out a good idea with good intention, they will extort the money for themselves. It doesn't happen again. So help and make sure that the message is going far. The media is very important because our people need to be notified. And if you are one of those who has the opportunity to be online, please follow our brother Samuel Ekpa in his Twitter handle. Follow him on his Twitter handle. Open a Twitter account if you don't have any. Open a Twitter account so you can be able to follow him to get update. He's tweeting almost every hour. He's always tweeting. If he's not coming online, you're going to see him on Twitter. He's going to be sending information. When there's an emergency, you're going to hear it. When he wants to come online, you're going to get the information on Twitter. Watch his videos. Share his videos. Listen. Other autopiloters, there are many other autopilot groups. When you see them, watch their video and share it. Any video you see, when people are talking meaningful thing that has to do with Biafra, for the restoration of Biafra, you share. But when you see those ones who are busy, they are busy analyzing the video of their fellow Biafran. They are busy using Simon Ekpa as their title. They are busy talking trash. They are busy promoting election. They are busy talking about irrelevant things. They are busy blackmailing their fellow Biafran. When you see such, don't attack them. Don't interrogate them. Don't go to their platform. Don't watch. Just scroll up and move. Just scroll it, push it off and move. This is not the time to listen to gossip. Neither is it the time to begin to listen to what Mr. A said or what Mr. B said. The time that we are in is the time that everybody have to take a responsibility. Everybody have to take responsibility for the situation. You must have to be doing something. You don't have to allow yourself to be cajoled or allow yourself to be pushed aside or be left behind. You must not be left behind. No matter what, you must not be left behind. You must not be left. The reality of today is that Biafra will definitely come. The reality of today is the restoration of Biafra. That is where we are. It is no longer in ordinary agitation or in noise making at all. Restoration of Biafra. How do you restore Biafra? That is the question. And that is why you are seeing the steps that have been taken. Tomorrow is going to be fundraising for ESN. Tomorrow is going to be fundraising for ESN. And you are supposed to be there to bring in your widow's mind. No matter how small, no matter how big, come and write your name in gold on that very fundraising tomorrow. The Zoom address, the Zoom link is going to be sent out. So many of us will see it. I'm going to post it on my channel. You're going to see it on our brother Samuel Ekpa's channel. You join the Zoom. When you join the Zoom, you can be able to make your own contribution. No matter how small, no matter how big. We are in restoration and restoring Biafra. We are talking about restoring a country. It is not restoring a shop or an individual. Restoring a country. It will cost a lot. It will cost money. And you know we are facing criminals. We are facing the people who are rich. They have all the money. They have all the connections. They have all the money. They have all the connection. And you see what they are bringing to Biafra land. You see the kind of force they are coming to us with. We are going to match them with semi-equal force. And for us to be able to match them with equal force that they are bringing to us, it will cost money. It's going to cost money. That is why our brother Sam and Ekpa have raised the standard. It is no longer child's play. And for those who thought that the Biafra struggle is just like playing or merry-go-round, no, that's not what it is. When they had our brother Samuel Ekpa asking Biafrans to come out, those who can be able to support the struggle, $10,000 every month for 6 months and watch Biafra come. It's not a joke. That is a challenge. If you want Biafra to come, and you're one of those that Chukwu Okabema have placed that wealth in your hand because of the period that we're in, come out, don't hide. Don't hide yourself. The more you hide yourself, the more you push yourself behind. Chukwu Okabema made you a billionaire for a reason. Chukwu Okabema gave you that money for a reason. And this is the time for you to answer your name. It is not for you to go and spray money in the community. It's not for you to go and take a title. They call you Omero or Chiro or 180 or whatever. That is not why Chukwu Okabema gave you that money. Chukwu Okabema blessed you for a time like this, for you to write your name in gold. For you to help your people to restore dignity, to restore their sanity, to restore a nation, so that we can worship Chukwu Okabema in truth and in spirit. That is why he gave you that wealth. And today, the call has been made. Any place you are, you have to come out. You don't have to sit on the fence. There's no more time for sitting on the fence or you say you're afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of today. It is unlike before. Sometimes there was some people used to say that people are extorting money or people are not using their money effectively or no accountability. Today, in the present regime that we are, in the new dimension, you can never complain of accountability. Everything is done in the open. Everything is done in the open. Even you don't have to wait until the day of fundraising. Don't say only on the day of. It's not only on the day of fundraising. Just go to the website and you make your donation at all times. Go to the website. Contribute to the ESN. These are volunteers. People that have volunteered their own life to defend you. How much do you think is enough for one to pay for somebody's life? They have given their life up for you. All they need from you is motivation. We have to motivate them. Give them the necessary support they need. Provide the tools they need. That is all they ask. That is the only thing they ask. In the struggle is a division of labor. Just as I'm here broadcasting on daily basis, broadcasting every time I come online to broadcast, that is the path I have chosen. I have chosen that path because that is where I feel I can be able to perform very well. And I didn't sit back. The same way in Biafra land, there are so many of our brothers and sisters in Biafra land who are sitting at home. On Monday, you see them, they will stay at home and they will encourage others to sit at home. They are playing their own role, playing their part without looking back. They are doing it effectively. There are also some group who are praying for the coming of Biafra. They are praying day and night, fasting. They are praying and fasting on daily basis for the coming of Biafra, and they are not relenting. Those groups are still there. So if you are a genuine Biafran, there must be a role you will play. You must be, you must partake on something. You must partake. There must be a role you are playing. Every one of us have a responsibility. There must be something you are doing to make sure that Biafra comes. In this restoration era, in this new dimension, you must not be idle. You must be doing something. You must be doing something. There's a division of labor. Every one of us must not be in the war front. Every one of us must not come in the open to talk. Every one of us must not be there. So many of us are prefer being on the silent, being on the background to make that direction. Even anything you do on the background, sincerely from the bottom of your heart, without anybody forcing you, you are going to reap the result. You are going to have your result. You are going to get your result. Anything you do sincerely from your heart, you're not going to regret it as long as you're doing it genuinely from your heart. Don't wait for somebody to force you. Don't wait. We are in a stage now of restoration. And in this stage of restoration, if you know what you will do to make sure that Biafra is being restored, do it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave us that charge. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it. So many things. That is why I urge people to follow Abraham Simon Abraham. When you are following him with your whole heart. Don't have any doubt. Because he is building on the foundation laid by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Everything that Simon Ekpa is saying today is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have said before he was kidnapped. That is what he's reminding us and repeating it and carrying that mission on. But those people who claim to be with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, those who claim to be in IPOB for donkey years, those who claim to have signed the name IPOB with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they claim to have eaten with him. Yet, they don't understand him, neither do they listen to him. They don't even know what he's fighting for. They don't even know what he wants. Today, the only person today that can speak the language of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu remains his spiritual son, the dragon, Mazen Simon Ekpa. Those ones who are claiming, parading themselves as this and that and this, what do? They are busy exalting themselves. They brought pride to themselves. They want to exalt themselves and make themselves known above that man who has made them whom they are. They want to exalt themselves. And for the fact that we are forcing people to obey them, instead of them earning a respect, try to earn respect from the Biafran people, they could not be able to earn the respect. They could not be able. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, they were supposed to earn respect. But because they had bad intention, because so many of them were involved in the kidnapping of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, their evil tendency could not allow them to earn the respect from the Biafran. They started from their explanation. When you hear the explanations, they are all... after hearing the explanation, you have no reason to listen to them anymore. They came in and they begin to preach command and control, command and control, command and control. Even when they have broken that command and control by themselves, they themselves broke it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that he instituted that command and control, he didn't put it for to overpower anybody. He didn't put it to intimidate anybody. The respect Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have today, he didn't get that respect because of command and control. The respect Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has, he didn't have that respect because of command and control. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu earned the respect of Biafran people. He earned the respect. He earned it. Every single one of us that is respecting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he earned our respect. It is because of what he has done. His consistency and truthfulness. That was how he was able to galvanize the whole Biafrans. Today, every Biafrans, they are singing the same song, supporting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Supporting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to the last. Every child in Biafra land, mention the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they will wake up and they will sing. Even the child in the womb will be clapping when they hear the voice of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or his name is being mentioned. Because he earned the respect. He wasn't commanding respect. He earned it. And I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama that we saw Abraham Simon Ekpa. Abraham Simon Ekpa followed the same step. He followed the same step to earn respect from Biafrans. He was the only person who was there for Biafran people. When Biafran people had nobody to speak for them, he was coming online. When Biafran people was killed, he was the only one coming out to speak for them. When Biafran people have no help, they didn't know any way to follow, he was the one supporting them to sit at home. He supported them. Since you have chosen this path, continue on the path you have chosen. I am with you. He was there with them. He was there. He was there. He was there with the Biafran people. He was there with every one of us. Working with us. Encouraging us. And you saw him dedicated. Even when he was being abused, he was being cursed. They called him all manner of name. They called him blackmail him. He kept quiet and he continued. He remained focused. He was still doing the same thing he was doing. He was still focused. With all the attack, all the blackmail, all the cursing, every manner of evil things they threw at him, he was still calm, very calm, earning his respect. He was earning his respect. For many months, he was called names. He never retaliated. For many months, he was bullied. For many months, they tried to destroy his business. They brought his family into the issue. They brought his career, tried to rubbish him, but he stood firm. Because he said he made a promise to Mazen Nandekano that he will never disappoint Mazen Nandekano. I remember one of the brokers he made when Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped. He was sharing tears. In one of the brokers he made while Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped, our brother Simon Ekpa was sharing tears. He couldn't even complete that very brokers. He locked out. In that brokers, he was sharing tears. He was not able to complete that brokers. He locked out. When Mazina was kidnapped, he couldn't hold it. For you to see a man to cry for a fellow man, you know that it is something that it has gone an extra mile. We are talking about a man that has a military training. Mazi Simon Ekpa, with all his military training, when Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped, at a stage when the battle was heavy, when the attack was coming from all angles, he came out. He couldn't be able to complete that very broker that day. He was sharing tears for Mazen Nandekano, and he logged out. When he saw the kind of people that we are surrounding Mazen Nandekano, the kind of enemies that Mazen Nandekano was dining with, when he saw that Mazen Nandekano was standing alone, he was alone. It was after Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped that we now understand why Mazen Nandekano was crying. He said, I am tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my nation. I need 100 men. 100 men. And he asked, are there no more men in Biafra land? Are there no more men in Biafra land? Are there no more men in Biafra land? We didn't understand. We thought he was speaking in tongue. We thought it was a parable. But after Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped, it became clear why Mazen Nandekano was crying all this while. And when our brother Samuel was making that broadcast, he broke down. And from that very day, he made that broadcast and broke down. He made that promise, and up to today, he earned the respect of Biafran people. He earned respect of Biafran people. The more you attack him, the more Chukwu Okike continue to push him up. The more you talk bad about him, the more you talk ill about him, the more people come to him. The more you continue to demonize him, the more Biafrans continue to love him. Just the same way they did to Mazen Nandekano. Mazen Nandekano was called all manner of names. They called him a scammer. They called him a ethnic bigot. They called him... there's no kind of name they didn't call Mazen Nandekano. But he stood firm. He stood firm. He continued to preach the message he's preaching. He continued to stand firm. He never wavered. He never shivered. That was how Mazen Nandekano built the standard he is today. And Mazen Nandekano told us about today that we are in. Before he was kidnapped, he told us about today. But today you see people who claim to be followers of Mazen Nandekano, they have just forgotten. So soon. How many days? Just a year plus. Just a year. A year, they have forgotten. Everything that Mazen Nandekano have told them, they have forgotten. But we never forget. And our brother Samuel never forgets. Our brother Samuel is the only person still building on that foundation. Just within a year, they have forgotten what man. They forgot that Mazen Nandekano was telling them that we are going to march before he was kidnapped. He was telling them. And Mazen Nandekano said, anytime you look for me and you don't see me, burn down the zoo. Mazen Nandekano didn't say, anytime you didn't see me, stop agitating. He never said, anytime you don't see me, stop agitating and begin to ask for my release. That's not what he said. He said, whenever you don't see me, you know what to do. Burn down the zoo. How are you going to burn down the zoo? Are you going to burn down the zoo by keeping silent? Are you going to burn down the zoo by not protesting, by not sitting at home, by not acting? It's been more than a year now. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of the enemy. And yet, our brother Samuel Nepa is calling for a march. Some of them are busy gossiping. Some of them are busy gossiping. People who cannot read within the line. People who doesn't know that the only thing that's going to trigger the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is what you and I do. You see the European Parliament calling for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. European Parliament have joined their voice calling for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But we can't be distracted. Every single strategy that we have, we are putting in place, we continue. We can't stop. We can't stop. We know, because we know their plans. We know what they are up to. We cannot believe anything that has to do with political solution. We cannot be able to follow it. Let those the lawyers are there to follow them on. But those of us, the ordinary Biafrans, the freedom fighters and agitators, we will continue to pursue the coming of Biafra and the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If they want to have any change, if they want us to deviate or change anything, they should bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu out, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and let Mazen Nnamdi Kanu by himself take up the challenge and give us order what to do. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot be in detention and tell us what to do. It has been made very clear. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot use there are certain language that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot use in detention. There are certain languages he will only speak in code. He will always speak in code. And who are those who are going to decode what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu does? Only few people can be able to decode what he says. Only few people can be able to decode everything that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is saying. That is why we cannot take instruction from him. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu can speak to us. He can talk to us. We will decode it. We will decode it and we'll take what he has said. Just like when he came to court, the last court he came, he told us that we have to defend Biafra land. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu came on the last court. He used a code to speak to us that our responsibility is to protect Biafra land and we must protect Biafra land. We must not allow any Biafran to be killed. It doesn't matter who is involved. It doesn't matter both our fellow Biafrans who are killing themselves, both the Janjaweed, the Caliphate, both the terrorists. We must not allow any Biafran to lose their life anymore. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave that order in the court. Some people misinterpreted it. Some people begin to translate it in their own level. And that is, you see, this is the reason why we say we don't take order from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu dictation. Not that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu want to speak to us, he's going to speak to us in code and we will decode it. Just like he did in the court. We decoded it. But all these clueless people, they will always get it wrong and they will begin to use it to antagonize us and begin to talk trash. But the people he's talking to, we know what he's saying. We know what he's saying. He has given the instruction. And we are following that instruction. And we will follow it to the last. We will follow the instruction to the last. Before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told us that we are going to march. He made it very clear. In the last one of his last broadcasts, he said that after the 150 days prayer, we will march. I don't know why. Am I the only one that heard it? The video is still there. Does it mean that these people who claim to be followers of Mazen Nnamdi didn't hear it? These people who claim who are telling you about command and control, didn't they hear it? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, after the 150 days prayer, we are going to march. Something is going to happen, and we are going to march. He said it. He made it clear. Then the 150 days prayer have ended. Before the ending of that 150 prayer, even the enemy themselves, those who sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu knew what was coming. They knew. The enemy knew what was coming. They know the plan. They know the strategies Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was. They know where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was heading to. Those members, those insiders that sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, those insiders that gave out Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they knew where he was going. They knew what he was supposed to do. They knew what was coming up. They knew that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was relieved after he has cried. He has cried out. He said, I have prayed in the secret. I have asked Chukwu Okabiam in the secret to give me people. And now I'm going to speak openly. And he spoke openly and demanded for 100 men to move, that others can come later on. He said it, that others can come later. 100 men and he moved. And he said, after the 150 days prayer, we will march. Then, after Mazen Nanekano was kidnapped, the people who claim to know all said they didn't know. And when we had it, Mazen Nanekano had already been sent to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. And that 150 days prayer continued and ended. They did nothing. Instead, they were busy stopping people who were sitting at home for the freedom of Mazen Nanekano. Instead, they were busy attacking people who were doing something that's effective. Even up to today, that sit at home remains the only effective thing that people can still hold on to in that very contract of Nigeria, because we know you can't protest in just the Republic. We can't afford to continue to lose our people anymore. We don't want to expose people to danger anymore. That is why we activate that very issue of sit at home. And they try to demonize it. They preached against it. They even tell the security forces to go and begin arrest people who are sitting at home. But Biafran people, I give you thumbs up. Our Biafran people in Biafra land, I give them thumbs up. They continue to sit at home against all odds. Against all the attack and intimidation, they continue to sit at home. They continue to sit at home. Against all the attack and manipulation, they didn't stop. They were still sitting at home. But those who were supposed to carry out the mission that Mazen Nanekano, follow the foundation he has laid, Mazen Nanekano have put everything we need to get Biafra. He has put it in place. Every single thing we need to get Biafra, Mazen Nanekano have put it in place for us. All you need is just to follow that step and you find yourself in Biafra land. Mazen Nanekano told us the day of marching. Mazen Nanekano already have put in place the Eastern Security Network, the ESN, to support the marching. Mazen Nanekano equipped the ESN. Mazen Nanekano laid a foundation on how to continue to support the ESN. Every tools that we need to march into Biafra, Mazen Nanekano put it in place. All these people need is just to follow it up, but they refuse. Instead, they were busy dismantling everything that Mazen Nanekano have done. They are busy suppressing everything that Mazen Nanekano have done. They were busy coming down every step that Mazen Nanekano have taken. 100 steps that Mazen Nanekano was taking, they were bringing it down, lower, until Abraham Simon Ekpa couldn't take it anymore, and he picked it up from there. Today, you see Abraham Simon Ekpa, he has raised it from that floor up to that standard that Mazen Nanekano wanted. He have raised it back to that very state that Mazen Nanekano wanted, and today you're hearing about marching. You're hearing about marching. He has been able to rescue the ESN from the hand of the scavengers. Abraham Simon Ekpa was able to rescue the ESN, one of the greatest miracles of our own time. One of the greatest miracles of our own time that Mazen Nanekano put in place, the ESN. The ESN, when Mazen Nanekano unveiled the ESN, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. Everywhere was shaking. One of the greatest miracles in this struggle, the way Mazen Nanekano unveiled the ESN. Our brother Simon Ekpa was able to rescue ESN from the scavengers. He rescued the ESN and began to sanitize them, until we got to where we are today. Even when some evil men or evil women were still there, some evil ones were still there, Chukwu Okike Abiyama used our brother Simon Ekpa to separate the chaff from the wheat. That separation continues until they were withered away. Now, the ESN have been sanitized. ESN have been sanitized, they are intact. And what we are calling upon today is the financing of the ESN. Make sure that they remain on that standard. Make sure that their standard does not fall. Make sure that you make provision for them. That is why you must join the fundraising tomorrow. Fundraising of ESN is coming up tomorrow. Do not miss it. No matter how small, do not miss it. No matter how small, do not miss it. Not only on the day of the fundraising, the website is there for you to make your contribution at any given time. That is the best way for you to pay your tithe and pay your offering. These are volunteers. They don't have any other work doing. They don't have any other business except from protecting you and I, making sure that we have a home to return to. And it is our responsibility to fend for them, protect them, and give them the tools they need. You and I are going to do it. The Israelites fought for their own independence. They fought for it and they sponsored it by themselves. And we have billionaires, Biafrans, who can sponsor our freedom. We have billionaires all over the world who can do it. If you are one of those and you are still hiding, you better come out. If you don't come out, Chukwu Okike Abiyama is going to take away that blessing. Don't cry. Don't cry when he takes away that blessing, because he gave you that blessing for a time like this. If you decide to hide yourself, this time and you don't take up that responsibility, don't be surprised when he takes out that away from you. Don't be surprised when Chukwu Okike Abiama takes back what he has given you. That call has been made. You have to come out. Anywhere you belong. If you belong to the 1,000 men group, join the 1,000 group. If you belong to among the people who are going to sponsor for 6 good months, $10,000 per month, it is not too much. There are so many Biafrans who can do more than that. And Chukwu Okike Abiama have a reason why he has placed that. And let me tell you, people are rushing already. People are coming. Don't think that people are coming already. More than that number of people are going to show off. They are showing off. But that number mentioned, make sure you fall into that very number. That 50 number is significant. The chosen ones. If you want to be among the chosen ones, you don't have to wait. Be on your speed and make sure that you fall in between those 50s. The first 50 people, make sure you're among them. If you're one of those that Chukwu Okike have placed in that position, stop waiting. Stop waiting. Today we are dealing with humans. We are not dealing with animals. We are not dealing with spirits. Those who hide under their phone and begin to talk and tell you that they are spokesmen. Meanwhile, you don't know who they are. You have not seen their picture. You don't know their address. Biafra has grown above that. You cannot defend Biafra as an invisible person. Biafra is a reality. It's not a dream. If you are still living in your dream world, go and live in your dream world. Keep dreaming. Those of us who are genuine Biafrans, we are living in reality. And Biafra is real. That is why today we are dealing with real people. You know the spokesperson of Biafra today. We know him. Mazi Simon Ekpa. He has an address. We know his qualification. We know everywhere he is. We know everything about him. You can call him and talk to him. While you speak to him, you'll be sure he's the one talking to you. When you come to the side of finance, you have Honorable Azuka. Honorable Azuka has an address. She has a phone number. You can speak to her. You can call her. We know her. So, what are you waiting for? Why must you be running? We can understand that in the past, there are so many invisible people who are surrounded by Zinandikan. People who they are not visible. Even they are fighting people who are willing to walk. People who has been there, they don't want to fight for Biafra and they don't want to give way for those who want to fight for Biafra to come. They just surround Mazen Nandikan and make sure that anybody that wants to bring something meaningful will never succeed. When you come, they will attack you with propaganda, blackmail you, and make sure they push the person away. And they continue to turn the hand of the clock back for Mazen Nandikan. But finally today, things are not the same. Things have changed. Things have changed and can never be the same anymore. It cannot be the same anymore. We will continue until Biafra comes. Thank you so much for watching from wherever you're watching. I have a program to attend now. I got a call that is coming in and it's very, very important call. I have to join that call to see what it's all about and what is actually coming. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me. Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you anywhere you're watching from, any part of the world you're connected from. Please share the video. Keep on supporting. Keep on moving. We continue to pray for our spirit Mazen Nandikan that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect him and secure him. Whatever we are doing, Chukwu Okike Abiama will be with us. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for listening. Remember, blessed. I will see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama while I attend to my calls. Thank you and remember, blessed. Duty call. I have to go off and answer the duty. Thank you and remember, blessed. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.